Hello everyone, my name is Tara Elzingre. I am doing the Tech Control Room series. This is all about AI agents, hype versus health. I'm really excited for this webinar today. If you do have any questions, as always, please do put it into the chat. I'm going to kickstart here, but I will be keeping an eye on people coming in as well. But if you do have any questions or queries, please do put it into the chat. And we will try to answer them at the end of it. Just for anyone who doesn't know, again, my name is Tara Elzingre. I am a qualified purple person. That means I help people to understand the tech world and business acumen and put them all together, especially in an AI and automation setting. Just to very quickly get into what we are going to be covering here today and why you're here. We are going to be looking at AI agents, a definition of that. You possibly have seen the term, but now don't know how to actually set up your own AI agents. AI can be overhyped and oversold for what it can do in certain tasks. It's very hard to navigate some of the marketing that goes in and around it. So I'm here today to kind of, I suppose, help you decipher what is real and what is the hype around it, and help you to integrate it well into your systems. So if you're short on time and wearing all the hats in your business and you want to start utilizing some of the features of AI that possibly already exist within the tools you already use, here's where you need to be today. And then we're going to be looking at systems that you can create, not just content, using AI as well. So, what is an AI agent really? An AI agent is a program designed to carry out tasks on your behalf autonomously using a combination of logic, context, and learning. In plain terms, it's a digital worker that takes tasks off your plate autonomously. It can make decisions, adapt over time, and even understand the context of your business goals. It doesn't just follow static rules, it can make its own decisions based on the goals you have set for it, but that's really important that you are the person setting the goals for it and helping to define that. And we're going to be looking into that today and how you can go about doing that. It does learn and adapt from real world feedback. So you giving it feedback, as well as on the different outcomes that happen with regards to the tasks that you're setting. So for instance, if you set it an opportunity to email a customer and the customer reacts the way that you anticipated or didn't anticipate, it can take that feedback, it can take that context and learn and adapt from that. Understanding context, not just keywords. And this is very important. It is optimal for us as the human in the loop to explain that context and to give the AI agent more context about than just the keywords, and explain the environment that it is in as well. And we're going to again look at how you can go about doing that. And it can collaborate with other agents or tools to get faster results. And that's really what we are going to be looking at here today as well. So what's hype versus what is real? There is a lot of fairy dust out there. It's time that we kind of look at what is real and what isn't in terms of AI agents. They're not going to run your whole business, but they can help you handle repetitive, time-draining tasks if you train them correctly. And that's where we are as of 2025. I always, emphasize this as somebody who is the realest voice in AI. I always say to people that AI today is not where it could be in even a week's time or in a month's time. It is constantly adapting, it is constantly expanding. So it is very important that you understand yourself what an AI agent can do today versus what it might be able to do in the future. And again, looking at some of the marketing around other types of AI agents, sometimes they could be looking at future context instead of what they can actually do right now. So the hype, what kind of things may you have heard? Well, AI will replace your whole team overnight. This is not going to be the case. And I know it can be very scary to see certain things like Microsoft will even go of 3% of its workforce and think that, you know, jobs are being replaced radically overnight. We are seeing a shift, and in the next 5 years, we are looking at AI potentially creating more jobs then, and I suppose making certain jobs redundant, but it isn't going to happen overnight. You are here to learn about how AI agents are going to essentially impact your own business as well as the business landscape. But it is important to realize it's not going to replace overnight. We do still need that human in the loop as of now. Need zero setup. This is also one that I feel is really overused by certain, I suppose, kind of tools that talk about AI agents taking over complete processes and complete workflows for you. There is a lot of setup involved. And again, we're going to look at how you can go about doing that today. But any person who is looking, I suppose, to develop AI agents within their own business need to understand that you need to personalize and create the policies and procedures around that AI agent in order for it to effectively work within your business. Knows what to do out of the box. And again, this is always going to be the case. No matter what tool you use, it's never going to work exactly how you want it to do. So AI agents do need a lot of work in order to get them functioning correctly. So what is the reality? It can handle repetitive tasks. And again, we're going to look at some of the context, and I'd love to hear more about what AI agents you would like to implement in your business. I always kind of say, what repetitive tasks are you potentially doing in your business that are possibly taking up more time and not letting you do some of the move the needle work within your business as well. Follows your logic, and that again is I suppose an asterisk kind of next to that as well. It can follow your logic once you have set out the correct parameters, the correct environment for it in order to follow those rules, the correct goals, and what outcomes that you are expecting, anticipating from it as well. So it does really involve that clear communication. If you have attended some of my past workshops where we talked about the think, talk, train method, that is thinking like a CEO, talking to an intern and training it to be an expert. And it can follow that logical steps if you are the kind of person who can create those logic steps for it as well. And it does need training like a VA or a virtual assistant, for those who may not know that term. You know, anybody who has, again, attended my workshops will know that I often treat AI as somebody who needs to be onboarded onto your system. Maybe they've gone to college, they have all the business acumen accumulated, but now they need to personalize it for your business as well. And it's the exact same with AI agents. So inside the agent brain, how do they think and improve? Thinking of it like a digital brain running a closed loop system, it's always sensing, deciding, acting, and then learning from the results. It collects and processes data from all directions: text, images, sound, customer clicks, chatbot replies, you name it. This is the environment we are talking about. It's the version of seeing that environment. So, in a digital context, this is what it is potentially seeing and sensing from your environment, all of that data that it is processing and collecting. And again, you know, contextual understanding is going to come from this data as well. You know, they may recognize certain patterns that maybe you may not even see yourself, which adds to your business and I suppose gives an advantage to your business in using AI agents to have, again, like a second person who may have a certain set of skills coming on to your team. So it generates insights by making decisions. This could be as simple as sending a follow-up email or as complex as reprioritizing marketing spend based on real-time results. Then comes the feedback loop. It checks what actually happened. Did the person open the email? Did sales improve? It's watching these outcomes. And based on that, it enters the learning process, adapting rules, refining choices, and tweaking its logic to get sharper over time. This cycle repeats constantly. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't forget, and it gets more accurate the more you let it run. So just again, to kind of show you those four key functions, we've got the context understanding via sensors or data. We've got the decision making. These are the rules or machine learning that is happening behind the scenes. And again, it really does depend on how you have set up those systems or what tools you're potentially using as well, on how that decision making is happening. Then it has those learning loops, feedback, updates, actions. So if you had, for instance, a lead generation agent working for you, it's going to see who's potentially clicking on it, who's replying to it, and adapting using those learning loops as well. There's a thing called the utility function. I'm not going to get into too much here today, but agents do evaluate outcomes to make better decisions over time. And again, if you have your AI agents set up correctly, that utility function works really well. They don't just follow instructions, they spot patterns you may not catch and suggest better steps for you. Now, just to again give a case study here, I'm going to talk you through Jane, who managed to save 6+ hours in her week. She was a client of mine who was setting up a solo business for coaching, one-to-one and group coaching, and she wanted to, I suppose, look at different systems that may help her to, again, move the needle within her business. And one area that we identified in her business where AI agents could support her was through lead generation. She was, again, using, I suppose, Instagram and LinkedIn more often than not for helping to generate leads. But she didn't want to be spending time DMing people or checking opt-ins. So we designed an AI agent to automate that part of her funnel. Now, the first part we did was define the environment. Again, I was talking about Instagram and LinkedIn, and we looked at different ways that we could potentially get leads and generate leads there using the likes of ManyChat and forms, etc., to help her understand what leads were coming in for her business. So we built out a form. And again, so we had Instagram as our starter point. And instead of being able to manually chase those leads, what we did was create that form. And then once the form was filled out, we used a tool called Zapier. If you're not familiar with it, you can use it for free for up to 10 different automation strategies. It adapts with most tools, and it's actually a really, really handy tool to use. But this bit then basically took that information, added it to a Google Sheet for her, and then automatically uploaded it to MailChimp using a tag as well. So using that Zap, through Zapier, she was able to have a CRM based on a Google Sheet. Again, not the highest for security. There are definitely better CRM tools, but again, using that low cost effective one for Jane for the moment was really important to her, something that she was familiar with, her tools, and looking at where she was at with it was also highly important. So we were able to create that MailChimp tag then based from Zapier because MailChimp knew it was coming from this list. So that AI agent essentially from Zapier was creating this MailChimp tag, which meant as soon as they were tagged, then they were getting sent the email response that Jane wanted. And then she knew that she had a warm lead list as well. And from that email, they were able to create the booking function as well. And she was able to track where those leads were coming from. She was able to track how many people were actually booking that whole process as well. And the next step again from that is to build out potentially a lead nurturing workflow after that as well. But just focusing on the lead generation funnel part of it at the moment, we set the goal. We wanted to increase qualified coaching leads by 30% in 4 weeks. We asked to design the agent's actions. We built out the action sequence using, again, Instagram, Zapier, and MailChimp. We detected any new form submissions under the tag hot lead, and the person was then added into MailChimp using that tag and got a personalized introduction email plus the link to the booking page. Then again, as I said, the next parts of this could be something like waiting 2 days, send a follow-up CTA to book a different call, or to maybe give a response as to why they haven't booked. So again, from this, what we're looking to do is add feedback and learning loops. What makes it agentic versus not just automatic. If a user clicks the CTA but doesn't book, they send a softer follow-up. If a user books, they're tagged as ready for the coaching session. If no activity, push to nurture flow or exit. Over time, it's going to learn what type of responses convert better, what subject lines might get the better clicks, and when to stop nudging people as well. So Jane is just again on the start of her journey, but through this system, she is now able to book 3 to 5 extra coaching sessions automatically. No chasing, no inbox overwhelm, just clean, smart actions happening behind the scenes. So if you are looking to create your own agent, first and foremost, I'm going to ask you to consider, again, what are your current strategies in place? What might you need to do to build out your own agent? And what parts of your system, I guess, are taking over potentially the most time? What are you finding the most manual at the moment? If you were to hire somebody in the morning, what would it be that you would look to pass on work-wise to that person? You don't need to be techie or a coder to create your own AI agent. And again, like I said, it is just like onboarding a potential virtual assistant. You're going to be looking at creating what I would call an autonomous goal-based agent. That means it doesn't just do one task, it understands context, it takes actions, and it learns from what happens. So when you define that environment, you are looking at where that agent is going to live. Now, again, as I mentioned with Jane, one thing that she had in order to send out the forms was a tool called MiniChat. Again, I think you can do 1 or 2 free mini chats a day. I will be following up with some of these tools in the worksheet as well after this, so don't feel bad if you can't remember the names of some of these things. But this allowed, I suppose mini chat again is a way of using agents within Instagram to nurture relationships, and it's a really good lead generation tool to use and to allow people to kind of get into that funnel for you in a 24/7 capacity, so that you're not constantly on Instagram trying to reply to DMs as well. So you're mapping out the world the agent is going to operate in, so it knows what is possible. So from MiniChat, she was able to send that form. Once that form was filled out, again, this information was collected into a Google Sheet. That Google Sheet, as soon as something is collected, would send a message to the AI agent in Zapier to say, we have a new lead, you need to tag that in MailChimp. So the goal again for Zapier is to send it to MailChimp so that person receives the email. So what do you want the agent to achieve, not just do? Like, is it booking more clarity calls? Is it nurturing cold leads? Is it onboarding new clients? Agents are task driven. So you want to set out the rules or actions it's going to create if tagged hot lead, reply with offer, so that it understands its steps, and we are creating a system and a flow between the tools as well. So the third step then is to define the states and triggers. These are the conditions or signals the agent will respond with. So again, giving examples here, user submits the form, tag is equal to hot lead. If it hasn't replied in 3 days, each state needs to be mapped to a decision or action. So it's important for you to understand the decisions you want the agent to take and what actions are going to happen because of those states or those actions as well. So we want to define the actions. What will the agent do when that trigger happens? So, for instance, sending the personalized email and adding it to the list in MailChimp. It's going to have to happen as a cause of the trigger Zapier sequence. So you can build with tools you already have again. So consider what tools you already have to potentially implement this. And as I've mentioned, with Jane, all the tools that she is using here, she's using the free versions of everything. It's not a complicated system to build up. In actual fact, you can even use ChatGPT to potentially walk you through some of these steps and help you to set up a flow like this. But the part again that may require a little bit of extra work is adding that feedback loop and learning. This is what makes it agentic and not just automated. The agent watches what happens. Did the email get opened? Did they book the call? Did they drop off? Then it adjusts future actions based on the outcome. If no clicks in 2 days, send different follow-up. If conversion happens, tag and exit. Now, again, if you have any questions on that or you are looking to build out your own agent and having trouble with it, please do let me know. I do offer 90-minute strategy sessions to help build out AI agents as well. So a quick look before we drop off to questions and where AI agents are heading. And again, we have looked at, I suppose, what has been hype and what is the reality of AI agents as currently. And as I mentioned at the very start of this as well, this webinar will surely be outdated, and it's very hard in times to predict how quickly it may become outdated because of how fast this technology is moving. So the future is collaborative and faster than you think. It is potentially happening. If you had considered potentially using these tools before, you may not have even considered that agentic aspect to it, whereas you knew that those automated processes were possible, you may not have realized that agentic AI was actually already available to you in this way, including the feedback and learning loops that we discussed already. So hopefully that is your one takeaway from today, that it is possible for you to potentially build out your AI agent as of today as well, and understanding a little bit better about how it could potentially work within your business and allow you to potentially remove some of the manual work that you are creating so that you can focus more on the things that are going to move the needle within your business. So looking again at what's ahead, the next wave of agents that we're potentially looking at, and one thing that we're really seeing a move on is real-time supply chain agents, where we are looking at potentially real-time decisions being made. And again, the way these agents are potentially looking at it, they're looking at the historical data to predict the future. So you can imagine in supply chain agents how potentially this could increase productivity and increase the overall performance of a supply chain by allowing the system to understand what needs to be ordered, when it needs to be fulfilled, and predicting, potential shortages, etc. For instance, if you're looking for a car part, and if it can check the warehouses out of car parts for the next 6 months, how can the system adjust to that as well? So the more the complex the system is, the more agents that may need to be involved. And the more agents that are involved, the more it may require better policies from you, more planning from you. So it is always important. Again, I always say start with one, build out one agent, see how you get on with that, and think about the future of agents within your system as well and how it may work with it. Human agent collaboration, robot and person builds. This is going to be, again, looking at, even if we were to kind of look at that supply chain agents, example there and kind of say, well, we are going to always need that human in the loop, but we're going to see a more closer relationship between agents and humans. And it's going to integrate with IoT, blockchain, edge computing, which again is just going to make it smarter, faster, better decision making within your environment as well. And 5G makes it actually fast. It does happen in real time. And as I said, it is coming faster than we think as well. So just want to point out that I do have a workshop starting on the 25th of July. It's taking place between 9:30 and 12:30, and I'm going to be looking more closely at things that we talked about today, a bit more understanding about what's happening behind the hood of the AI agents, how you can build out the agentic architecture within your business as well, both minor and major systems, a bit more understanding about machine learning, and how to build out a system. So again, looking at the systems that you potentially have within your business and how you can build out those systems yourself. You'll walk away with clarity on what system is holding you back, a real strategy for using AI without overspending or overcomplicating. Again, I always build these out to suit your budget and the potential tools you're already using. You're going to have the AI fit framework and an editable roadmap for yourself as well, and then the confidence to build your own AI system, not someone else's shortcut. So this is something that is personalized to you and your business. So if you're thinking that this is something that you need, you'll build your first AI agent live with me, get plug and play templates, and finally take control of your digital workload. If you book this before Friday, you do get a 20% off discount as well. Now, again, thank you so much for attending today. If you do have any questions, please do let me know. I will turn off the recording there now before questions. And again, if you are interested in, again, looking at some of my other workshops that are coming up, I'm doing these talks once a week. The time has changed to 12 p.m. Going forward. Unfortunately, childcare issues has meant that I'm a bit more restricted at the 1 p.m. slot. So they will be at 12 p.m. But you can reach out to me with questions. You can find me on social media, Tara Elzingre Consultancy. Check out my website, taraelzingreconsultancy.com. And you can also use that QR code there to check out some of the webinars and workshops I have coming up. Next week, we're going to be tackling your tech stack audit. I'll be helping you to clear up your cluttered tool stack and spot what is missing so you can work smarter, not harder. And look forward to seeing you then.